Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. So, what if I told you the next economy isn't going to be run on money, but on your attention? Today, we're diving into this really fascinating vision of the future, a future where being able to grab someone's attention is actually more valuable than cash in the bank.
And this whole massive shift, it doesn't start with a bang. It starts with something you probably scrolled right past, a quiet little technical update from Google. It's called the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP for short, and you should really think of it as a brand new language for a brand new kind of economy, one that's run entirely by machines. This thing basically lays the tracks for AI agents to start doing business, buying, selling, the whole shebang, without any of us needing to be involved.
Right, so that brings us to the quiet revolution, the rise of the machine economy. I mean, what does happen when AIs start talking business? Not to us, mind you, but to each other. Seamlessly, all across the internet.
Well, the prediction is that they're going to spend a whole lot more time talking to each other than to us. And this could create what some people are calling a fully automated industrial substrate. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. These AIs will start handling all the background stuff, the nuts and bolts of our economy. They'll be making deals and transactions with each other way more than they ever interact with a human. And this kicks off a huge chain reaction. First, you've got UCP, which lets the AIs actually do business with each other. Then you get these AI swarms that just automate, well, everything, all the execution. And because of that, the cost of actually doing stuff, of carrying out an idea, just plummets. It becomes practically free. And that leads to the final and most important step. Human arbitrage completely collapses. Our whole advantage of being smart and planning things out to make a profit, that starts to disappear.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. This is the automation economy, where execution is everything, and everything is automated. So if all the doing is automated, how on earth is value created anymore? Think about it. In the old economy, the one we live in now, execution is king, right? Ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the building that's expensive and requires skill. Your edge comes from being smarter, faster, more efficient. But in this new world, execution becomes a commodity. It's cheap and easy. Just imagine an AI agent planning and launching a rocket company all by itself. I mean, that's the scale of the shift we're talking about. A whole new form of value is needed. So that's the big question, isn't it? If execution, the doing, is no longer the key differentiator, then what is? If that's not the hard part anymore, what becomes the thing that's actually rare and valuable?
Well, according to this analysis, the new currency is all about vision, values, and reputation. The new economy is going to run on something called attention preference. It's this massive shift away from what you can do to what you can inspire.
And success in this new world really boils down to three key pillars, and they're all incredibly human. First up is vision. Do you have a clear, compelling vision that people actually want to get behind? Then you've got values. Do you stand for something that resonates with people, something that attracts a following? And finally, reputation. Do you have a track record that proves you're the real deal, that you can actually get things done?
Exactly. In this future, you don't need to go begging for venture capital. You just need to convince millions of people to believe in you. I mean, think of it like Kickstarter or GoFundMe, but just supercharged on a global AI-powered scale. Instead of just a handful of VCs in Silicon Valley, you could have millions of regular households acting like investors, pouring their resources into the ideas and the people they truly believe in.
All right, so let's talk about the masters of this new game. Because this might all sound like something out of a sci-fi novel, but if you look closely, there are already people who are absolutely winning by playing by these exact rules.
And the first case study, of course, is Elon Musk. Now, whatever your opinion of him is, he is a perfect example of this model in action. His vision, a multiplanetary species, sustainable energy, it's huge. His values, that ultra-hard-node mentality, always pushing the limits of what's possible. And his reputation, well, it's built on a history of actually executing these ridiculously ambitious projects, and that combination is what draws in just a staggering amount of resources and talent.
And then you've got someone like Mr. Beast. He had a super clear vision, become the biggest YouTuber on the planet. He built his entire brand on values like over-the-top generosity and using entertainment as a force for good. And because he has this rock-solid reputation for delivering viral video after viral video, when he decides to launch, say, a candy bar or a burger chain, millions of people are already lined up. The attention and the resources just flow directly to him.
So here's the real kicker. In this future, all you need is the vision, the values, and the reputation.
The AI and the robots, they'll handle the execution. That grueling 100-hour work week just to get something off the ground might become a thing of the past. The most important work you'll do is building and broadcasting your story. The AIs will take care of the rest.
Okay, so this inevitably leads to a discussion about the future of power. We're talking about a new class of elites. So what are the long-term societal implications when you build an entire economy on attention?
Well, if you look back at history, the people in charge have always changed. First, you had warrior chiefs, right? The people who could aggregate violence and keep you safe. Then came the merchant class, the ones who could coordinate resources and build things. And the argument here is that the next evolution is the attention elites. These are the people who can gather up human preference, our collective attention, and use it to direct this incredibly powerful automated economy. And in this world, just one person can become what's called a Schelling point. It's basically a fancy term for the obvious person that everyone rallies around, even without talking to each other. They become the #1 focal point, that one single face, that one voice that directs these massive swarms of capital and AI.
But, as you can imagine, this new kind of power brings a whole new set of challenges. When you concentrate that much narrative power into single individuals, whether it's an entrepreneur like Musk, a creator like Mr. Beast, or even a political figure like Donald Trump, it can lead to a much more chaotic and volatile world. These people can wield enormous influence, and often without the traditional checks and balances we're used to.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really crucial question. In a world that runs on attention, who holds these new elites accountable? When the most valuable currency is the ability to shape a story, what kind of guardrails do we need? It's a huge thing to think about as we step into this pretty wild future.